Pixie, what you just outlined was female privilege. So you admit that females have privilege inside of society. So would you then argue that we live under a patriarchy, even understanding that women are privileged as you just stated it?
Yeah, I think what is it? The patriarchy is just talking about like general outcomes, but I think in this enforcement of the patriarchy, we try to like, otherize women so much and otherize men so much to try to like establish like why men should have like this dominance or why men should have more of these options. And the process of doing so, we end up hurting men and women because there are some things that should not be otherized. For example, like physical violence, right? So I think that these
so wait a second.
Consistent.
So wait, you think that the patriarchy, which is this massive system which is run by men for the purposes of oppressing?
It's not just run by men.
Hang on.
No, the patriarchy
Hang on.
Is run by
Well,
men
you'd
and
have to
women.
admit that it's at least mostly run by men. There's no way around that.
It's mostly, what is it? Society is run by both men and women.
It's mostly run by
men.
It's mostly run by men.
Okay, well, we just have a fundamental
No, there's no fundamental disagreement. Society,
yes,
are you saying that society's not mostly run by men?
I'm saying society.
Okay, great. So if it's mostly run by men, then men are...
Yeah, you gotta let her respond.
Well, wait a second. If it's a shootout, we have 3 minutes. Why do I have to let her respond? It's a fight, Tom.
It is moderated. I understand.
All right, fine.
It's just the two of you. Go ahead.
Okay, right? Society is run by both men and women, right? And I don't think there's any way to like go against this because guess what? Like women are supposed to be in this nurturing role. They're supposed to like take care of children. That has a huge societal influence.
Yeah, but in positions of authority. Which would be what was necessary for the patriarchy to be oppressing everybody. The positions of authority are mostly held by men. Yes or no?
Okay, that's different than just like
yes or no. You're mostly held by men. Yes or no? Yes or no? Or is the positions of authority mostly held by men?
Sure, positions of
Great.
Like, public authority.
So all these positions that are held by men, the patriarchy benevolently gives women all of this privilege. Isn't that kind and benevolent of them?
Of privilege.
So isn't the patriarchy benevolent?
Men. Wait, let me finish. This is called benevolent sexism, right? So it's this idea that like, oh, there's these
Well, that's what you're espousing, not me.
Yeah, no,
it's your
benevolent
position.
sexism definitely exists. However, like the idea of the patriarchy is who is this benefiting the most often, right? And it tends to be men. It benefits most often, but that doesn't mean that there's
doesn't sound like it's benefiting men the most often. We seem to be going to prison, have the most dangerous jobs and everything else.
Men are the ones who are like most likely to be like in political like positions of power. They hold all the power. So how are you going to say that and say
being in positions of authority doesn't mean that you don't have female privilege just because you're inept. Just because you're inept at being in positions of authority doesn't mean anything.
In positions of authority and power, and now you're saying, but actually, this all benefits women.
It seems to. What's the benefit for the man? What? So what? So it seems like the patriarchy's. It's so I just need you to concede.
I have the most power.
Okay,
like,
let me just finish my point, and I'll let you respond. I'll let you respond. I promise. So I just need you to concede then that the patriarchy is giving women privileges. It's privileging women. So the patriarchy is benevolent, right?
Yeah, benevolent sexism is
yes, thank you.